Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 14 of what if Izuna Uchiha was Naruto Ancestor. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also stay in tune because I'm going to be doing a new episode of what if Naruto rebuilt the Uzumaki clan. So stay in tune for that and I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join both channels and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And I also post a new episode of What If Kaguya Was Naruto's Mother over on Anime King, so go ahead and check out that as well. And later on I'm going to be doing What If Naruto Was Trained to be a Weapon. So stay in tune for that as well, and without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So the last time we left off, Naruto let the darkness inside of him take control as Sai then placed a seal on him. But Naruto's tail burst right through Sai's chest, killing him as Naruto returned back to normal. As Naruto then turned his sights on Danzo as Yamato came there as well. As Naruto told Yamato that he will take care of Danzo, he should go. As Naruto and Danzo then start their battle, as Danzo quickly realized he was no match for Naruto. As Naruto told him, it doesn't matter how much Sharingan he has on his hand, he will never be a true Uchiha, and let him show him the power of the Uchihas. As Danzo tried to use his Genjutsu on Naruto, but Naruto already had Danzo under a Genjutsu from the start. As Naruto stood there and used a kunai and sliced Danzo to pieces, making him suffer in each second. As Naruto made sure not to cut anything vital, so to make Danzo feel the most horrible pain possible, as Danzo go through pain and agony, as he begged Naruto to kill him, and that is only when Naruto said Amaterasu and burn him and incinerate him in black flames. As Naruto then went, as he sealed away Ren's memory, as he gave the Anbu a letter, telling the Anbu to give her this if she asks any question about her family and her life, as it doesn't reveal who Naruto is though, but he writes some things in there for her. And with that, Naruto left the village. We then had a time skip to 3 days later, as Sarutobi and the Anbu were in the office, as Sarutobi will have to reveal this statement tomorrow that Naruto steal the Forbidden Scroll and slaughter a couple of Anbus on the way out, and he's a traitor of Konoha, and this is all to do with Operation Ghost, a special mission that Naruto was given. Meanwhile, Naruto was still badly injured. He has been running for 3 days straight, as he was currently going to an ex-Anbu root agent, as she would help him. So yeah guys, that was basically last where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. We currently have Hiruzen and the Anbu in the office talking. We have received reports that not all of the Sky Ninjas were destroyed in the last battle. Damn it, things is just getting worse, said Hiruzen. Sky Country was a small village who waged war against all the other 5 great nations, but they were defeated by Konoha in the Great Shinobi War. If it wasn't for Minato and his Harasshin, Konoha would have perished, because their attacks are all from the air. So if the Sky Ninjas had survived, Konoha is on another hit list. I want your Anbus to keep searching for those idiots. Find them all, don't let any of them survive, said Hiruzen. As you wish, said the Anbu. As Hiruzen looked at the map in the office, as Konoha was in the center of everything. He had lived through 3 wars. All of his friends are now dead, except for Homura. He knew countless of shinobis had sacrificed their life, so the people of the Fire Country and the civilians could live a peaceful life. This was a price that every soldier has to pay, and Naruto wasn't an exception. I need someone on the inside. I need to know the enemy's strength, their weapons, their plans. I need to know every goddamn information, even if it's sending a young boy to his death. I have already done it in the past. I am doing it now, and if the situation calls for it, I will do it again in the future, said Hiruzen, as Yamato nodded, as he knew that countless of lives were at stake. Hiruzen knew this, Naruto knew this as well, and despite all of it, they were doing it because it was the right thing to do. Do you think Naruto can do this all alone? He lost his friend and his comrade, and I believe he's suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. That is why I recommend you give him backup, said Yamato. Hiruzen thought about the idea. He knew what Naruto went through, and he felt sorry for the poor boy. And Yamato was right. Sai was not only Naruto's friend, but he was also a skilled spy and a tactical fighter. He was the one who kept Naruto sane until now, and with him dying, it must have broke Naruto in some way. As Naruto needed someone, a shinobi who's not just strong, but can endure pain like him. As Hiruzen made a decision, he had to send help. Yamato sent our fastest messenger hawk to our secret hideout within the stone village, said Hiruzen as he started to write something on a scroll. Yamato eyes wide when he heard what the Hokage had said. There was only one operative there. Was he really serious about this? Hokage, are you sure about this? Yes, we are sending Operative Black Wolf to provide assistance in Operation Ghost. Meanwhile, at a brothel, Jiraiya was sitting down in the center with two girls at his side, as his thoughts were on Konoha, as it has been a decade since he left the village. For these past few years, he has been keeping an eye on Konoha enemies, and he knew a lot of them were out there in the dark. There was a very suspicious organization out on the rise, and he had not found any information on Orochimaru. It was as if Orochimaru vanished from the face of the earth, but Jiraiya knew him better. What are you up to, Orochimaru? Jiraiya thought with a frown. But most of all, he was worried about his godson Naruto. He has been in touch with Hiruzen, and he was sad and happy at the same time. He was sad that Naruto had a terrible childhood and many hated him, but he was happy that Kakashi has taken the boy and trained him and took care of him. He felt extremely proud when Naruto awakened the Sharingan, as he wanted to see him. But his duties always got in the way. He had to run his spy network. Suddenly, there was a small puff of smoke, as there was a small monkey now standing on Jiraiya's chest. There was a small scroll on the monkey's leg, as Jiraiya saw that it was his sensei monkey, as he had sent him a message. As Jiraiya got up, as he opened the scroll to reveal a bingo book, as there was a specific number on the bottom of the scroll, as he skipped to that page, and he was surprised to see Naruto as a missing nin. S-rank missing nin? As Jiraiya's eyes went wide, as he quickly jumped through the window and went through hand signs. Summoning Jutsu, as a large toad appeared in the alley. Jiraiya, what do you need from me? The toad asked. We are going home, said Jiraiya. A distance away in a small bar, there was Tsunade, with Izuna as well. Tsunade's life has been one sad story. She was born in the great Senju clan, her grandfather being Hoshirama Senju and Mito Uzumaki being her grandmother. She grew up to be one of the strongest ninjas of Konoha, a legendary Sannin, but she could not save the ones she loved the most. Her parents died in the first Great Ninja War, shortly after her grandfather. Her younger brother was killed, his name was Nawaki, in the war, and Dan, her boyfriend, was killed as well, and it still haunted her. Her grandmother died too, but then Kushina and Minato came in her life. Kushina was her cousin, as her cheerful attitude helped to ease Tsunade's pain. But then God had to ruin her life, as the Kyuubi attacked and Minato and Kushina were killed, protecting the village. And she found out that her cousin had a son that was born that night. At first, she was nervous as she didn't know what a mother was supposed to do, but she knew that she had to take care of Kushina's son, as that boy brought joy in her life, as she wanted to stay with him and provide the love of a mother to him. But she couldn't stay in Konoha. That place only brought her more painful memories. She wanted to take Naruto with her and raise him, but she was denied permission. Naruto was a village asset. He was a Jinchuriki after all, and she was forbidden to leave the village with him. As she and her student Shizune had fought tooth and nail to take Naruto with them, but they failed, and she was given a choice to either stay with Naruto or leave the village and do what she wanted, but she could not take Naruto with him. And she made her choice, and now she regretted, as she chose to abandon her nephew, as she couldn't overcome her pain of staying in Konoha. After a few years, she realized her mistake, but it was already too late. Naruto was adopted by Kakashi Hatake and was living a normal life again. She didn't want to cause him any more pain of him knowing that she abandoned him, so she decided to let him go. But even after all these years, not a single day passed when she and Shizune didn't think about the little blonde boy. They had not kept any ties with the village, but Hiruzen assured her that he was living a good life. There was suddenly a puff of smoke as a small monkey stood in front of her and Shizune, as the monkey had a scroll on his leg, a small one, as she could see that it was her, Sensei Monkey, as she unrolled the scroll and looked at it, as there was a bingo book and a number. As she skipped to the page, as she saw that face, those blue eyes, as her eyes started to burn with pure anger as she finished reading the scroll, as her hands glowed with chakra as she smashed the table to a million pieces, as everyone looked at her as they were scared. Tsunade, what happened? It's time to go, Shizune, said Tsunade. Where? I'm going to kill Sarutobi Sensei, she said, as she marched off as Shizune followed her with Tauntaun. Meanwhile, Naruto was staring at the house, or rather the few people that were in it. There was a few people playing with each other, mostly children enjoying their innocent childhood. It was morning. Naruto had reached his destination, but he was tired and he knew any time that he would collapse from exhaustion. He remembered that today was a day when Hiruzen was going to declare him a traitor and an S-rank missing nin, as a tired sigh escaped his lips. But his eyes were still focusing on the children in the house, as he wondered if he could have such a childhood if his parents were alive. As he heard the laughter of the children, as that brought painful memories of his past, thinking about the people in the Root on-food division, as he remembered when he first came there, and they didn't get along so well, but then they became true friends. You're still the same lonely kid, Naruto, said a feminine voice, as a small smile came on his lips, as he finally found her, the only person that understood his sadness, his misery, his guilt, and all the pain in his heart. As he turned around to see the woman standing behind him, as she had shoulder-length hair that was black, with black eyes, as she had a very kind face, as she was wearing a black kimono with a white apron over it, as she looked to be in her mid-30s. She didn't look like a fighter, but don't make that fool you, she was very strong. Looking at her brought a few tears in his eyes. It has been so long since he saw her. No, Sensei, said Naruto happily. But suddenly his legs felt wobbly as he started to fall, but she moved forward and caught him. Sensei, said Naruto, as he fell asleep. Hush, Naruto, she said. You're finally home, and I'll take care of you. A few hours later, Naruto slowly opened his eyes. Everything was looking blurry, and there was a constant pain in his eyes, as he closed them and rubbed them for a few moments, and then opened them back. This time his vision cleared a little. It was not much, but it was better than anything. He looked as he saw he was in a small room. His shinobi gear was lying on the table, as his clothes were on the balcony, air drying, and his sword was clean of all of its blood. As the room was small, but the bed was so soft and comfy. As he looked at his body, as he saw he was heavily bandaged, and most of his body was healed, and he was in his boxers. Suddenly he started to cough as a few drops of blood came from his mouth. He then heard footsteps as Nono came into the room, as she placed her hands on his chest immediately as they started to glow green. As he saw the worry look in her eyes, that was a look that a mother gave her child. He tried to say something, but she cut him off. Stay still and let me heal you first, said Nono. Naruto just nodded as he looked up at the ceiling and let her heal him. As Nono was looking at him with a sad look on her face, she knew what he was going through. She had seen many war veterans, and the horrors that they see had broken them, and right now she could tell that Naruto was a broken person. As Nono had once been a part of Root Anvu Black Ops, she had spent her youth protecting Konoha and doing lots of Anvu missions. But she started to get tired of all of it. And she was against Danzo's methods of training young children in such horrible way. But her protest was always cast aside in the name of needed to protecting Konoha. But then Naruto came into her life. He was unique, he was powerful, but then he showed her something that she had forgotten because of her service to Root. She was tasked in training him for infiltration and medical ninjutsu by Danzo, but he showed her that she was still human. As she grew closer to him by the passing day, he was such a lively kid back then, always that smile on his face and always full of hope. As she watched him grow from a loving child to a cold-blooded assassin, she knew a part of Naruto's soul died when his friend, more like his brother, Shin, died. But despite all of this, he never forgot her, and as soon as he became a Root Anvu captain, he immediately threatened Danzo to discharge her from service. He knew that she was tired of Root, and she wanted to live a peaceful life and take care of the orphan children. As Danzo agreed with Naruto's demands, because Naruto was more beneficial to him than Nono. But Danzo doesn't allow loose ends. But Naruto kept her safe from Danzo all these years, as he provided her with financial aid to run her small orphanage. She had told him that she could manage, but he always said that he wanted to help and maybe this way he could atone for all of his sins. As Nono felt very sorry for him, many of his friends died in training, but he still had one friend. What was his name again? Oh, Sai. Yeah, Sai, she thought to herself. But looking at him now, it made her realize that something terrible must have happened. It's good to see you, Nono-sensei, said Naruto with a smile, breaking her out of her thoughts. As Nono looked at him briefly, his smile was true, but she saw all the grief in his eyes. It's good to see you too, Naruto. But why are you in such a bad shape? Nono asked, as she wanted to ask him this question since the beginning. She was horrified by the condition his body was in, as he has internal wounds. She had checked him and she found out that some virus was spreading through his body, some poison, and it already destroyed 30% of his cells, and was still causing damage at an alarming rate. At this speed, the virus would have killed Naruto in a few months. If he was not a Uzumaki, he would have been dead by now. His Sharingan eyes were badly damaged, and he lost a lot of use of his eyesight. It looks like he overused the Mangekyou. As she knew he awakened the Mangekyou after his death match with Shin, as Naruto never hid anything away from her, and she really wanted to help him. I cannot tell you that, it's classified, said Naruto sadly, as he averted his eyes away from her. Another Black Ops mission. Why can't they let him live in peace? Nono thought angrily. I understand, and I won't ask you what your mission is. I know how these things work. Thank you, Nono-sensei, said Naruto. So, how have you been? Naruto asked. Better, the orphanage has been running better thanks to you. The kids really make my life happier, said Nono with a smile. A small smile came on Naruto's face as he was glad that he could help this woman. She was the closest thing he had to a mother. I'm glad you're doing well. The kids can really be a handful sometimes, said Naruto with a small chuckle. You don't say, she said with a smile, remembering Naruto and his pranks. Are things well en route? How about Sai? Said Nono. She then saw the look in his eyes as she realized she shouldn't have asked that question. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked, she said. It's not your fault, Sensei. I need your help, Naruto said. Nono looked at him closely. He was definitely hiding something, but she wanted to help him no matter what. I am doing something dangerous, and I am in real deep. My body and my eyes are really damaged. Can you help me? I don't care how much trouble you're in. You're the son I never had, and I will do whatever it takes to help you. As Naruto nodded thanks. So, how bad is it? He asked. It's very bad. I've started to search for a cure, but it will take time. And my eyes? Asked Naruto. They have been badly damaged too, and your vision has been affected badly. And why do you have a Mangekyou Sharingan in a jar? She asked. Well, I kind of borrowed it, said Naruto. Excuse me? Said Nono. I have overused my Mangekyou Sharingan, so I looked in the Uchiha clan records for a cure. And it said if a Mangekyou is overused, the user will go blind. What? Said Nono in shock. But Naruto placed a hand on her shoulder and told her to calm down. But if I implant another Mangekyou Sharingan in my eyes, then I will gain the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, and I won't go blind. Please believe in me, said Naruto. Moron, why do you always get yourself in such trouble, said Nono. I don't know, said Naruto. As Nono sighed, I will study the Mangekyou that you brought and see what I can do, she said seriously. As Naruto felt a little happy, maybe this was what a mother truly was. Thanks, Mom, said Naruto subconsciously. As he didn't realize what he just said, the words just came from his mouth. As he then looked at Nono, I'm sorry, I didn't. It's alright, she said, cutting him off. You are my child, she said. As a small tear came in her eyes, as she leaned down and gave him a hug, as he hugged her back tight. After that, she kissed him on the forehead and told him to get some sleep. In an unknown location, in a small, dark room, sat a person in a meditative pose. He was wearing an Anfu uniform and his face was covered by a black wolf mask, as he had on his sword and his armor, as his black hair was tied in a ponytail. There was a puff of smoke in the room, and a small hawk appeared in the room, and it had a scroll on its back. As the Anfu took the scroll and opened it as he went through hand sign and slammed his hand on it, revealing a letter. As he read through it, Captain Naruto, he said, I'm looking forward to meeting you. Hours later, Nono stood in front of Naruto with a piece of paper. What do you want to hear first, the good news or the bad news? Naruto thought about her question, what should he hear first? Moron, go for the good news, said Kurama. As Naruto felt a little bad with his partner, he was not talking much to him, and Naruto was to blame at that. Kurama had asked him several times if he was okay or not, but Naruto didn't know what to say. He has been through so much. Naruto, Nono said, snapping him out of his thoughts. If you would stop daydreaming, I have some good news for you, she said with a short smile. I hope, said Naruto. I examined the Mangekyou Sharingan that you brought, and it is really unique. And it has the first Hokage cells implanted in it. I know that, said Naruto, as he remembered Danzo and his arm. Naruto, I won't lie, this eye is one of the best inventions I ever seen. How so? Asked Naruto. A few years ago, you had sent me some data on your Mangekyou Sharingan. You had just awakened it, and you wanted to know everything, remember that? Yeah, said Naruto. And now, when I examine your Mangekyou, I have found some shocking things about it, said Nono. The Mangekyou Sharingan severely destroys the tissues around your cornea. The more you use it, the Mangekyou destroys those tissues, eventually leading to blindness. As the cornea gets completely destroyed, she explained. How can I save my Mangekyou? Should I just implant the Mangekyou that I have directly? The Uchiha tablet said that it will restore it back to full capacity, said Naruto. It's not that simple. Eye transplants are not 100% successful. It may cause more damage than good. Also, in the case of a Mangekyou Sharingan, it is good to have the eye of a close siblings or parents. When the genetic structure is similar to your own, that will increase the chance of a success, said Nono. So, there is very little chance of restoring my eye, since this eye is not from my relative, said Naruto. No, there is a way, and this eye that you have brought me is a clear example of it, said Nono. What do you mean? Naruto asked. The owner of this eye knew the side effect of a Mangekyou Sharingan and probably didn't have any siblings to swap eyes with. In order to stop his blindness, he found a new way. Huh? What way? Naruto asked, confused. The first Hokage cell, said Nono. What? Said Naruto. Did Danzo really think about all of this? Naruto thought. Idiot, remember that Orochimaru and that old freak were together, said Kurama. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, said Naruto. How does Hoshirama Cell help to stop the blindness? Naruto asked. Hoshirama Senju was the world's best medic ever. He could heal any wounds. If he was alive right now, he could heal you easily, as his cells had immense power, allowing him to heal his wounds in seconds, no matter how bad. And this Mangekyou has Hoshirama cells implanted in them, and it stops the destruction of the cornea, and they regenerate tissues, and the user won't go blind in any way. Amazing, said Naruto. This was truly the work of a genius, and there was only one man in the world that could achieve this. Orochimaru, Nono said. Yes, I have found some evidence that he was involved with the user of this Mangekyou Sharingan, but for your own safety, I cannot reveal anything further. I cannot lose you, said Naruto. As Nono was touched how much Naruto cared for her. I understand, she said. I can create a clone cornea with the help of the cornea of this Mangekyou Sharingan for both of your eyes, or you could find the other eye. And to create the artificial cornea, it will take time and a lot of money that we don't have, said Nono sadly. A small smile came on Naruto's face. Can you bring the scroll on the decks? He asked, as Nono walked over and picked up the scroll. As Naruto bit his finger and wiped his blood across it, as the scroll opened up and revealed stacks of Ryu inside of it. This is 1 million Ryu. It will help you get started. If you need more, just ask, said Naruto. How do you have so much money? Said Nono, even if you save your mission earnings. This is not my money, rather, this is the funds I'm receiving for this mission. Don't worry, I am properly funded, said Naruto. Naruto, this amount of money is only assigned to operatives that are assigned to SS rank missions, which in other words are suicide missions, said Nono in fear. Yes, that's true, said Naruto. He was quite surprised that Nono gave him a hard slap across the face as she grabbed him by his shoulder. Are you out of your goddamn mind? She yelled. As Naruto just looked at her calmly, he was expecting this kind of reaction out of her anyways. It is of great importance, Mom. There is no going back now, said Naruto gently. But you... As Naruto cut her off. Nothing is going to happen to me, Naruto said. As Nono looked him straight in the eye, he was not going to back down. It seems that this mission meant a lot to him. Please, promise me one thing, said Nono. What is that? Once you're done with this mission, I want you to retire from the Anbu Black Ops. And you will survive, and if you don't, I'll bring you back and kill you myself, she said. I promise, said Naruto. I will start the preparation for your operation, but it will be at least 4 months before I can create another cornea for your eye. Understood, I will hold out until then, said Naruto. As Nono then looked at him, as a hard part, as she couldn't find herself to say it, as Naruto saw the look in her eyes, as he gave her a nod, as Nono looked at him straight in the eyes and said 3 words that shocked him. You are dying. At Konoha, Kurina ran at top speed as she was jumping from rooftop to rooftop as she had a bingo book in her hand as she couldn't believe what she just saw. Naruto? A S-rank ninja? Criminal? As she couldn't believe that word. As she couldn't understand what was going on. As she was moving so fast. As she was shocked beyond words when she woke up this morning and read the new bingo book and saw that Naruto was an S-rank criminal. He slaughtered 300 Anbu and stole the forbidden scroll. As this must be something wrong. She couldn't understand. Naruto would never do this. As a thought came to Kurina's mind, ever since that day when the both of them made love, as she didn't know but Naruto did his genjutsu on her that day. But things became strange and she also remembered that incident. It was just after she woke up, as she kissed Naruto as he smiled at her. There was a knock at the door, as Naruto went to check. What can I do for you all? Said Naruto, as Kurenai peeped to see who it was. All of them were Hyugas. We need to talk, said the Hyuga as he stepped forward, as Kurenai recognized him. He was Keiyo Hyuga, but where has she seen him before? As she then remembered he was Hinata's bodyguard, but what was he doing here? As she then remembered what happened yesterday, when Hayashi was pissed at Hinata for her horrible performance in the mission. Did you report Lady Hinata as a weakling and a failure to the Hokage? Asked Keiyo. I only said what was the truth, said Naruto. Suddenly, 2 Hyugas grabbed him by the collar and slammed him against the wall. "Naruto," Kurenai said, as she was about to help him when he said something. "Stay out of this," he said. As Kurenai wanted to protest, but when she saw his eyes, she stopped, as they were red and had slits in them. "Because of your report, Hinata has been cast into the branch family and she's been disowned by Hayashi," said KO angrily. As Kurenai's eyes widened in shock as she couldn't believe it, Hayashi would do that to his own daughter? But she was more shocked by Naruto's answer. "Am I supposed to care?" he asked. "What?" said all the Hyugas. Before Kurenai could even blink, all the 4 Hyugas were lying on the ground with blood leaking from their mouth. Impossible, she thought in shock. Only an Anvu captain or a cage level shinobis could take down 4 Hyugas in a flash like that. Like I said before, Hinata was pathetic in that mission, and I reported her performance to Hokage. What happened after that isn't my fault, and I don't really care," Naruto said. "But she was your friend. You know much her father dislikes her. He wanted to cast her aside for Lady Hanabi," said one of the Hyugas. "And," said Naruto. "You sold her out, you bastard," said the second Hyuga. As Naruto just looked down at the 4 of them. "Appearances can be deceiving, like how you guys made the mistake of thinking that I am a kind-hearted person," said Naruto. "You could have saved her from this. You could have not revealed the truth and talked her off their words," said Kyo. "Do I look like a babysitter to you?" said Naruto. "Huh?" Kyo said, confused. "I am a chunin of this village, and the only loyalty I have is to the Hokage and myself. I don't care about your clan. I don't care about Hinata. And your clan is pathetic if they cast her aside without giving her a chance. All of you are the same. You think you have the right to judge people? The 4 of you accuse me of selling her out? Hayashi accused his own daughter of being a weakling, and he didn't even do anything to help her. You filthy little 9-tailed fox," Kyo said in anger. Naruto brought up his leg as he slammed it right into Kyo's face as he was sent flying away as he was about to attack the rest of the Hyugas. "Enough, Naruto," Kurenai yelled. As Naruto turned at her, and what she saw shocked her to her core. His Sharingan was active, but instead of a 3-tomo Sharingan, it was now a shuriken. As she could clearly see the hatred in his eyes. "Is this really Naruto?" she thought. End of the flashback. As she was hopping on the roof, she remembered those eyes and she was still terrified by them, those eyes that were filled with so much hatred. As she knew that Naruto was changing, those past few weeks, he was becoming more cold and distant to everyone. He even visited her less, and since the last 7 days, she has not seen his face. The Hyuga issue was not reported as Hayashi apologized for his clan. But Kurenai knew Naruto was still hiding something from her. She had known him for years, and something was wrong. But now she hear about this, as she really needed to know what the hell is going on. But guys, we end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notifications they posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on social media platform. And also stay in tune, guys. I'm gonna be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Was Trained to Be a Weapon. So stay in tune for that, and later on this channel, I'm gonna be posting What If Naruto Rebuild the Uzumaki clan. So stay in tune, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode. So without further ado, I'm out for now, guys. See you over Anime King. Peace.